Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's preview as the Pumas take on the Bulls tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And the last time that these two sides met, it was when the Bulls fielded a relatively second string side in Nelspruit, and the Pumas absolutely took them apart. And was probably their best game of the season, and was a really sort of big indicator of how the Pumas, despite struggling in a lot of the season, do have some quality and had the capacity to try and sort of finally put together an 80-minute performance. Because I think what we saw during the Currie Cup and the Super Rugby Unlocked with the Pumas is that they've got some very good individual players. We know how good Jimmy Stonehouse is as a coach, but they really struggled to put together that 80-minute performance. You know, they had some really good moments against the likes of Western Province or Stormers and the Lions, but they couldn't quite get past the line. And I think it probably would have been fairer looking at the overall log and the results of the Pumas had they gotten about 2 more wins, I reckon. So yeah, it was a frustrating season for the men from Nelspruit. And again, tomorrow it's quite a largely sort of second string Bulls side, quite a lot of players missing, but there are some good players on display. For the Pumas, they have made a lot of changes. So we'll look at the teams in a moment. Before we do, please do smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel as well. We are trying to hit the next sort of mark as sort of, I don't know, 1,500 or 2,000 mark, past 1,000 marks. Thank you everybody for your support and stuff like that. But let's look at the team in terms of the home side. So quite a lot of changes from the Pumas, and the big name missing for me is no Willie Engelbrecht at number 8. I personally would like to see Willie Engelbrecht try and secure a move away from the Pumas to one of the Rainbow Cup sides. I think he could add a lot of depth. For me, he was one of the standout players, not only for the Pumas, but in the entire sort of Currie Cup Super Rugby Unlocked, and was one of the 4 number 8s in the competition. But he will not be playing tomorrow. So we've got Morgan Yadira, AJ LaRue, Ignatius Prinsloo. It's quite a settled front row there. Brandon Valentine, partners, captain, Peter Janssen van Vuren, a very hard worker. You know exactly what you're getting from him week in, week out. Brings a lot to the table, a lot of experience, a lot of hard work. Francois Clemens, Pumzela Makondana, Kwando Damaza is the 8th man tomorrow. And then Crystal September starts at number 9. He will partner Neil Murray. And then the wings are Tapio Mafura and Morne Yaber. And then Ali Ngajima, who's been actually playing very well. So it took a while for him to get the opportunity and to get the run out that he wanted at inside centre. But when he started to get a couple of games in a row, really started to come together. He will partner Sebastian de Klerk in the midfield. Devin Williams is back at full back, his best position. He was filling in at number 10 throughout the competitions earlier in the season, but he's back at number 15, which I think he's much better. I think sort of good kicking game, but not a good enough kicking game for fly half. I think he struggled to control the game sometimes. He did have a very, I think it was actually against the Bulls himself, where he had a very, very good game at fly half, and maybe sort of showed why he has the potential to be able to fill in there, but much better for me at full back. On the bench, HP van Schuur, Devos van Meritz, Ruan Kramer, Michael Bernardi, Dion Badenhorst, Eddie Verscheers on the bench this weekend. Good to see him back and playing rugby. Erich Cornier and Darren Landsberg will provide cover off the bench. So it's a decent Puma side. As I said, I think Willie Engelbrecht is a big loss. But apart from that, there's no Luther Obi as well, which for me is quite a big loss. I think he's a very hard worker. He's one of those wings which you can't, even when he's not being started possession, you'll look for work and stuff like that. But for me, I think the players to watch, Ali Ngajima is playing nicely. Neil Murray is a solid fly half. Makondana is a very good player. He makes a lot of tackles. Peter Janssen van Vuren, you know exactly what you're getting from him. In terms of the Bulls, it is an unchanged side that played in the first round of the competition, where despite being a largely unchanged side, they absolutely decimated the EP Elephants, 87 points to 10. It was a bit of an embarrassing performance, to be honest. But in terms of the team, Kenneth Steerkamp, Joe Van Zyl, Morne Smith is the front row. Jan Ace, Janko Swanepoel are the 2 locks. Nizam Carr will captain the side once again. He partners Tim Agava and WJ Steenkamp. In Rose Pierre partners Chris Smith. Interestingly enough, Jake White spoke at the team announced about the fact that they really want to bring in Damien Willemse and that Johan Goosen is basically a formality, and spoke about how he wants to start putting together a dream backline of Johan Goosen at fly half, Damien Willemse at full back, Cornel Hendricks and Stefan Gans as the 2 wings, and the 2 centers, and then your wings and the likes of Curly Oren, so they can get him back. But you got Madash Tomwe there, you got Stravino Jakob. So it's a really, really exciting project the Bulls have. And yes, a lot of people are saying that they've got money, you could do anything, and that's true. It is true. They are throwing money at the problem. But at the end of the day, for South African rugby, it's a good thing. To have Johan Goosen back in South Africa playing rugby is a really good thing. And you look at transformation and stuff like that, and how we want to sort of see an organic transformation. if you start seeing a backline of Mbombela Stadium, Johan Hussers, Javino Jacobs, Cornel Hendricks, Steban Gans, Madosh Tamwe, and Damien Williams at full back. I mean, first of all, it's an amazing backline. Second of all, it's a very transformed backline. So it always sort of ticks the boxes and stuff like that whilst preserving quality, which is where you want to be at. You know, the whole point of transformation is to try and get to a situation where organically you are selecting a side, top 15, top 23, which is really, really good and good enough to win titles, but it also sort of represents the demographics of the country. And that's what we're trying to build towards. It is an inevitable part of the game, whether you like it or not. It's one of those things that you have to embrace, because if you don't, it'll only pull you down. And it's good to see more and more coaches starting to embrace it and being able to generate quality by backing some really good youngsters and bringing a lot of players through. The Sharks are doing it very nicely at the moment. On the bench, Janko Ace, Jan Hendrik Wessels, Nolan Pienaar, Reinhard Ludwig, Werner Bernard van der Linde, Clinton Swart, Richard Creel, Henk Abuse, Willie Porkita, and David Kellerman will be called upon if needed. So, yeah, I mean, a couple of players. I mean, Clinton Swart's a good player coming off the bench there. Jan Hendrik Wessels has played a couple of games during the Currie Cup and Super Rugby Unlocked. I think it's a good enough side, Bulls side, to really take on the Pumas. I think it should be quite a close match, actually. And I think that we could be in for some good rugby. I thought that the Bulls looked very good. They looked very free-flowing in the first game. I thought Nizam Khan captained the side very well. Tim McGraw was an exciting player. It's good to see Chris Smith and Ambrose Pierre getting some time together, because, you know, with Ivan Van Zyl moving away from the Bulls, you know, the Hochart deal moving through, you know, you have got Zach Berger, who's just made the move too, so you'll probably start seeing him quite soon. And also good to see Chris Smith getting some time there. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the match down below. I want to go Bulls by 10. I think that they're playing with a lot of confidence, and I think that despite the fact that it is a decent Puma side, I think, you know, missing a couple of key players, I do think that this Bulls side with a lot of confidence can inflict some damage. But in the same breath, it could also go the Pumas' way. So let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.